first time I used the word writist was in 1997 in a journal, but you know, I hadn't really made enough art to even be an artist. I was a writer. So next year it'll be 30 years ago. And then a few years ago I made The Writist because now I'm a collected artist and I'm a published writer. And so there's about probably 250 of these. And actually, if you're an institution who doesn't have this, you should get this from me. That would be smart. So, The Writist. Now that is the Mayan word for, it would be pronounced ik. It represents the color black. It represents the direction west in Mayan culture. It's among the Mayan characters that I've been learning, right? But okay, so 30 years ago, I came up with this term. I have lived the existence to the point, and I made a book a couple of years ago called The Writist. I never chose to be anything. I began a reader, but started my first journal when I was 8, and I've kept one since. And for 45 years, on any form that asks for occupation, I always put writer. Living in Brooklyn in my early 30s, like Walt Whitman did, I learned how much self-promotion he did for Leaves of Grass. He wrote glowing reviews of his own work under pseudonyms. He befriended and posed for New York photographers to have portraits in the nascent days of the medium, and declared himself the, quote, bard of democracy, at age 36. My father disdained self-promotion. He believed devoutly in an interconnected, eternal, droning universe. He believed in mostly silent harmony with it. Egotism was gaudy to him. He admired the Japanese. I think Asians who believe in circular energy of an immaterial soul seek to dissolve ego as an element of the material self. I have always written. I must have written 1,000,000 words by 30 when I moved to New York. I was published, some journalism, a couple of short stories. Once I got paid $1 a word by Condé Nast for a short story of my own invention. And so, I could join the union. My National Writers Union card is the centerfold of this object. But readers were already disappearing. When I moved to San Francisco in 1993 on Christmas Eve, the TCP/IP protocol had just been signed and the World Wide Web was a couple of months old. Writing became second to image, fast. Fonts became important early. The look of it sped past the gist of it. We'd all have to learn design. Over the next 2 decades, text became just an element of image. Catchphrase meme. Then text became image. So, I became an artist. I make books. Newspapers, magazines, and even books are disappearing into tablets and phones. But I still love reading and writing with the feel of paper. For a long time, our numbers as readers have been dwindling. I even had the thought I might end up as the last writer. But really, it turns out I was the first writist.